back in Doug and Sherry's kitchen. And for our dinner, we're going to make a wonderful Oriental stir fry. So what we have is we have a grouping of vegetables here. We've got some beautiful broccoli, some green onions, some green beans, some purple cabbage. We've got some orange sweet pepper. Got a package of shirataki tofu pasta. And we have some ginger and we have some garlic. So we're going to start off by putting some olive oil over here inside of our wok, which is now starting to heat up. We want to make sure that that wok gets good and hot, so we're going to get that olive oil started. There's about 1.5 tablespoons, maybe 2 tablespoons of olive oil that are now inside of the wok. We'll turn that heat up to high. I'm going to grab the knife and I'm going to go right for the ginger. Ginger root is a very, very flavorful root. There's a lot of flavor in a small thing. I know it's kind of ugly, beeves, but this is what you do. Just take a chunk and chunk it on off, and you'll see inside it's kind of a golden color. And just peel off all the outside skin like this. Just like this. Bingo. And then just chop it up. Just chop it up into small pieces. Just like this. And what you're doing is you're going to flavor that oil. And a little ginger goes a long way. It's fresh ginger root. You'll find it in your local grocery store. It'll be over where the fresh vegetables are. So let's go ahead and tuck that ginger right inside of that oil and get it sizzling. Now we've got about 4 cloves of garlic here. What we're going to do with the garlic is just going to go just like this. We're going to squash them with our knife, using the side of our knife, just like that. Whoops, missed one. Slippery little guys, aren't they? Now we can just peel the garlic right out of the skins. You see that? It just comes right out. Boom. Just like that. Take this one over here, do the same thing. Out comes the garlic. Get rid of the skins. Do the same thing here. And we'll do the same thing with this one. Now we're just going to give them a quick chop. Like so. And again, this is just going to go into that oil and it's going to flavor that oil. That's what it's going to do. So we'll just tuck that right in there. And as you can see, we've got a wonderful, beautiful garlic and ginger in there, just sizzling away with that nice hot wok. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to get right into the chicken. We'll take a chicken breast, which I have set aside over here, and we're just going to slice it into nice, thin, long slices. I like to get a nice bite when I bite into my stir fry. So we're going to just put them in nice, long slices, just like this. Real easy. It's important to use a separate cutting board from your vegetables when you're using fresh poultry, because you don't want to end up with salmonella poisoning. So we're going to have all separate utensils, and we're going to have all separate cutting boards. Now we'll just chop that up into some chunks, just like that. I can see that our garlic and our ginger is browning nicely. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of this chicken. First thing we're going to do, we're going to push some nice fresh salt on there. And now we're going to put some hot red pepper. Not a lot, just enough to give it a little bit of flavor. And in we go, into that wok. Right along with that ginger and garlic. We'll get rid of this. Get a fresh knife. And we're just going to go ahead and stir fry that. Right in with the garlic and right in with the ginger. Whoa, boy, smell-o-vision. I wish you could smell how terrific this smells. All that garlic and ginger. Beautiful. Okay, now, over here, I've already cut up some of these vegetables. I showed you we're going to be using the shirataki tofu noodles. We have some noodles in our dish. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this green onion, the scallion. Again, you get a lot of flavor in a small amount of scallion. We're just going to use one. We're just going to chunk it up fairly large, just like this. Now what I've done with the green beans and with the broccoli is I've parboiled them. What that means is they get dropped in some salty hot water for just a few minutes, just to take a little bit of the rawness away, but they still retain their crunch. Okay, here we go. Let's go back to our wok. The chicken's cooking nicely. We want to make sure that that's cooked just about through before we throw the rest of these vegetables in there, because we want to pull those vegetables all together with the chicken, and the chicken needs to stay in the heat. We don't want to cook the vegetables too long, because if we overcook the vegetables, then they're going to be mushy. We don't want mushy vegetables. We want them to have some al dente to them. So here we go. We'll just flip that around in there like that. That chicken's doing nicely. Another 3 or 4 seconds, and we'll actually have it all ready to rock and roll. Okay, now let's take our scooper. We're going to scoop the broccoli in there. We're going to scoop the green beans in there. We're going to scoop the pepper and the cabbage in there. And everything else that's on this board, except for that piece of ginger, we're going to scoop right in there. I love my scooper. It's like a big shovel. Gary, you'd love to have one of these. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and give this a quick toss. Look at how beautiful those colors are. Can you see that? I'm sure you picked that up with that camera, how absolutely lovely those colors are. Fabulous. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take some sesame seeds. Now I like to use a mix of a black and a white sesame seed. Can you see that? Sesame seeds, again, bring a lot of flavor into a dish. Just sprinkle those guys right in there like that. Give those a chance to toast along with the vegetables. Now inside of my product guide, you'll find this particular teriyaki sauce. It's made by Seal Sama, and it's a sugar-free teriyaki. A lot of flavor in a little bit, and it's all sugar-free. Matter of fact, the carb count on it is 1 gram for a whole tablespoon, and I'll probably only use about 4 tablespoons for the entire dish. And here we go. Now we're going to go ahead and put our sauce in. Just a simple matter of pouring in. I've already pre-measured it. There's 4 tablespoons, and it goes. That's 4 carbs. Let's mix this around. And the last item we're going to throw in there is we're going to throw in our noodles. So if you remember now, this is the shirataki tofu noodle. Looks like a spaghetti. It's all cooked. What I've done is I opened the bag, rinsed it real well in a strainer, and to get rid of the little bit of a fishy flavor that it has. And now it's going inside of our stir fry. So we'll mix that up. We want to get that down into that sauce so that we have a nice flavored noodle along with our vegetables. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do, gang, is we're going to plate this wonderful meal. We'll just pour this right like this. Just like, good serving in there. That. That's a nice size serving right there, isn't it? Huh? Anybody would be fulfilled with that serving of food, I believe. We'll just sit this over here. You can take a look at it. It's pretty. I'll go ahead and do the next one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the sauce inside of that wok for a couple of minutes because I want it to thicken up. And what we're going to do is we're going to let it stay on that nice hot heat just for 2 or 3 minutes. And what it'll do is it'll thicken up into a nice glaze that'll go over the top of this Oriental stir fry that we've just made and make the flavors that much more rich. Okay, as you can see inside the wok here, this is really thickened up beautifully. Now what we want to do with this beautiful caramelized sauce is we want to just simply take and pour it right over the top, just like that. It's so delicious. I wish you could be here to smell it. Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta tell you, these are absolutely beautiful plates. Stir-fried Oriental chicken with fresh vegetables. This is what we're gonna have for dinner tonight for you at the Forum. We love you. Bon appetit.